Hello, thank you for joining me here today at Markets of Sunshine. This is Marcia. Hope you're having a great and sunshiny day. So we are going to be decorating a plain brown paper lunch bag using fabric and scrapbook paper. Now I showed you in my previous video, my last video, how to decorate this, make it into a writing journal, gratitude journal, whatever you want to use it for, just using scrapbook paper, making one signature for the middle, and I sewed it, so you can check out that video. I will link it at the end of this video so that you can go back and watch that one. And so we start off with a plain brown paper lunch bag. You can pick these up at Walmart. And now today I'm going to decorate it using fabric and the papers as well. So one side I've already used a really nice thicker cotton fabric, and I glued it down, and I left about a 1/2 inch to 3/4 inch border all the way around. I trimmed off the corners, and then I folded it in, glued that fabric down, and then I came over the top of it with this piece of beautiful coordinating scrapbook paper. So it was a little bit tricky because this fabric is very unusual in the color tones, and you don't find very many in scrapbook papers in these tones, so I went more with the brown, sandy, kind of a earthy look for the inside, so which I think looks really, really pretty. Okay, so now before I get working on the pockets, I want to give that glue time to dry. So while I'm doing the front with you, that will allow that, and then we'll start adding the signature to the inside, and I'll walk through that with you, and we'll do some pockets on the inside as well. So what I wanted to do for this front cover is just to make a really nice, simple statement with a book plate. Just to the point, and I used my journal prompts for September, and I picked out which one I thought would be a nice book plate, and I used Give Praise. It's along the lines of being thankful, gratitude, and so of course praise is right along those same thoughts. In order to make a book plate, what you're going to need will be cardstock, and then I use, for the heavier cardboard piece, was the front cover of a 12 by 12 paper pack. So I saved those front and back covers, and then this happened to have this nice geometric squares, so I just cut out 2 of those, and then I laid my sentiment on top. I like the amount of space that's going to be left, and it looks really, really nice. And then what we're going to do is cover this with fabric, and you can do a variety of decorations with that. And I wanted to do something different, so I'm not going to use the same fabric obviously that I used for the cover. I want something that's going to be a nice contrast between the two, but yet still be complementary and staying in this tone. So I would like to try to find something in this teal and green, and not so much of the yellow. And since there's so much blue going on, I don't want to come and add any more blue, but I do want to come in with something that's along these lines. So this is what I found in my stash that I think is going to be a nice look. Okay, so here is what I found, and I think it really looks very nice, and it would pick up this color here perfectly. So this is the same principle that I did with the bag itself when I put the fabric on, so I'm going to show you the technique now when I do the book plate. Okay, so I'm going to leave a little bit of an edge to allow me to be able to glue. and using Aleene's tacky glue. And what I want to do first of all is I'm going to glue this in place. Yep, right away I'm going to glue this down. So I want to make sure that I'm getting it lined, positioned proper where I want it, leaving adequate space all the way around, getting it straight. Okay, that looks pretty good. Okay, so now that makes it easier for the next step. So the next step, all I need to do is I just want to go in an angle and leave about a ½ inch. Okay, so just trim that off. Okay, now what we're going to do is we're going to fold the fabric down like this on the two edges first, and then we're going to fold this over and down like this, and then these little areas that are sticking out, we're just going to trim that off. So I glue it right onto the cardboard. And I just like to pull it, push it down and just pull it. And I don't like to have all that glue on me, so I'm using a paper towel. So as I'm pushing it down, I'm pulling it toward me as well. So that's going to make it nice and tight. Now just fold this corner in. They naturally want to fold in anyway. And then when you turn it over, you might see that little tiny smidgen. So just take the scissors up against the back piece, not the front. See? That quick and easy. Now you have a beautiful edge. Add a little more glue to the top of this. And then fold this one over. And do the same thing. So that is how easy it is to make a beautiful little book plate label for your journals. And we're going to glue this whole thing down, so I don't need to worry about adding extra glue right there at this moment. Same thing from the back. Just come in and gently, carefully trim off that little tiny smidgen of a piece. Okay, now we take our label. Fabric picks up little smidgens of lint and all kinds of things, so you don't see it from up there, I'm sure, but I can see it. Right now, I want to make this a little fancier, so I'm going to come in with something else behind this. So I just want to start auditioning different pieces to see what do I want. Do I want to put something like this? No. Okay, so let's take some of our lace trim. I think a nice piece of lace will look really pretty behind this. I don't want to do cheesecloth on this, but I think lace is going to be better choice. definitely not. Okay, this was what I had closest to me. Okay, I've got a little tinier. What is that? Okay, let's get to the end of the roll. Okay, first thing is I want to find which is the front and which is the back. Now I can come here and have a little bit, that I think would look cute. So I'll let a little bit stick out on that side and a little bit on this side. Pull it up there like that. Okay, I think that adds just enough interest. Don't want to overdo it. Something there, I don't know. I feel like it needs a little something more, or it could just be me, but let me see. Maybe it's all right like that. Maybe I'll leave that. Maybe I'll leave it blank like that. I want to trim this up a little more. There, that's better. Okay. All right, now just glue this in place. A little bit of glue here on this, right on the stitching of this lace edge. So I am so happy, and I wanted to thank all of my new subscribers and commenters. Thank you so much for being here and tuning in on my channel, wanting to be a part of my creative community, because I am building this community for you, and so by subscribing you're helping me to do that. Definitely needs a lot more glue. I have the fabric, it's not Fabri-Tac, but it's some other fabric, something or another, fabric to fabric, but I don't like that it takes like 3 hours to dry. I don't like that. Okay, that's better. Just had to put a lot of tacky glue. Okay, and then of course the brads. I don't know if I mentioned that already. I put 2 brads in the corner. So that's what gives you your nice book plate. It's going to have to go on that lace, and the lace was already being finicky. I thought I would better put a little bit more glue on here. Okay, so I'm trying to use the 2 corners as a guide, and I'm using the 2 edges as a guide as well. Okay, about 3/4 of an inch there. Okay, just a little bit over. Okay, there, like that. Glue all over the place. Okay, so this is one of those times when you're going to have to hold it down in place. My goodness, I got glue oozing from everywhere. I don't know where it's coming from. Okay, solve this problem. Making sure I'm not gluing the paper towel to the cardstock. That's where part of it was coming from, was the corner of the lace. Mashing it out. so now what I'm going to do is get some clothespins. And usually what I do here is get a piece of wax paper. So let me grab a piece of wax paper, see if I have any handy. I might have to go pull some off the roll. Wait a minute. Nope, I gotta get some off the roll. Because the last thing I want is to glue the clothespin because the glue will not stick to the clothespin. So, I mean, to the wax paper. This is my way of making sure that it's going to stay. So obviously I'm going to let this sit now, and then with the use of modern technology, I will be back in a flash and you won't even know I was gone. And then this will be dry, and then we will put it on our cover. Set this aside over here. And now what I want to do is work on making a pocket for the inside here and the signature pages. So what I like to use for my signature pages are digital papers that are for journal writing. I think that's just a nice addition to use. So I go through and try to pick out complementary colors. And then I alternate the colors so that all of the one color group is not next to the other. And then there's lined, and then there's the solid, and I like to alternate that as well. And then sometimes if I have a ledger page or something like that, then I'll use that. Okay, so I decide how many pages I want in the signature to have, and then all I do is take the sandwich bag, paper bag, make sure my pages are all lined up, and I usually use a clothespin for this. Okay, so I'm going to first cut off this white edge on both ends, and then now I need it to be smaller than the actual bag is. So I'm going to come down here and eye it approximately where I want it to be. Okay, so I am a little over 3.5 inches on this end. And yep, perfect. Okay, so that is perfectly lined up. Now I'm going to just take my pencil, draw a line down, and then I know that's where I want to cut the pages. And I only take 2 or 3 at a time. So while it's still attached there, I'm going to just hold on to it here, because what happens if you try to cut too many at the same time is they will move on you, and then you're going to have uneven pages, and then you'll just have to retrim it. And then now I can take this smaller grouping to my cutter and then trim up the edges. So let me do that, and then I can show you. Nice clean edges. And then this first grouping is going to be my template for the rest of the pages. So already I've cut off the 2 edges, so this is how I like to do it. I mean, this is like, you know, so now there's the template, and I will use this so I've got plenty of room, so I won't have to worry. Even when it's folded, they're not going to peek out the ends. And I like the spacing here. It looks really nice, and this is plenty of room for writing, so I like that very much. Okay, so I will continue to do that, get the signature together, and then I will take the cover and the signature to the sewing machine and then just do a straight stitch, and because it already has the line right here, which is wonderful, then I will use that as my guide to getting it straight on the machine. Okay, so here is the beautiful book plate, all nice and adhered now, and I'm going to glue it in place, and then I will show you the signature that I've already sewn on the inside. Oh, this is so pretty. And then I will show you the 2, the paper one and then the fabric one, and let's decide. There's so many different things, features about both of them that I love. Each has its own unique style, and that's what I'm really enjoying about this. But I definitely am going to make more of these and give them as gifts. And I probably will put some in my Etsy shop. So if you're interested in purchasing one, then sign up for my mailing list and follow me on Instagram if you're on Instagram, and I will be posting them over there when I get them ready to be put into my Etsy shop. Oh, I just love that beautiful, bringing all this teal off of that flower in here, the lighter color here, and I switched the covers. So I wanted the butterfly here on the back, and so that just turned it over. And then I did the pages a little differently. Instead of having the color facing me, I decided I wanted the color on the inside. I like this contrast better. So now I can still write on both sides, but I just thought that was a really pretty presentation like that. And I may or may not put a pocket here, because since we already have the pocket back here, then I decided that this might be just enough that I'll just leave that. And I'm thinking that I'm going to make a lot of little cute journal cards and ephemera tags and things to just stuff in this pocket. And then this will be gifted to someone very special. Now let me show you the 2. So here's the one that we did yesterday with the paper cover, and the cute little dragonfly centerpiece on this one, and then today's with the fabric cover and our book plate as the centerpiece on this one. I like both of them. I think they turned out really nice, and I've already started writing in this one, so I'm going to go past the first few pages. And the pocket looks really nice. I'm still really enjoying the pocket. I've got the front pocket here, so instead of having the pocket on the top, the pocket is on the back. So you can move the pocket around, which I like that as well. So I think this turned out very nice, and I will continue to cover more paper bags, and these are the fabrics that I've picked out. I wanted to just show you. So this is a very country quilt theme in pink, and I just went through because I categorized my fabrics by color themes. So these were just the ones that were in the pink bag. So this nice floral, this smaller floral, purple, pink flowers, little green leaves. This is a nice flannel, so this will make a really nice soft cover. And then this is a really pretty vintage fabric that I've had. I think it was off of a, I can't remember if it was off of a dress or something that I'd gotten from somewhere. And then I had this beautiful piece here that I just absolutely love. It's very soft, muted pinks and greens. And so I think this would be really cute. And I'll do the same technique where I will leave that little bit of an edge, fold it under, just like we did on our book plate, and then glue it in place, and then I'll put the paper on top of that. But I think all of these are going to be very, very nice, and they're going to make perfect little journal gifts for this fall. And I'm going to be busy here in the craft room, and we're going to be decorating these and making more of them. So I think I'll be doing that here with you on the channel, and then just what I'm going to do differently in each video is come up with different centerpieces for the front cover. So each of the front covers will have a different layout, a different design, and so I will use different elements every cover. So this one I did the doily, the crochet lace, the dragonfly, and then the two journal prompts. And then here, obviously, the book plate, and then a little bit of lace and this fabric. So I'm going to come up with different cover designs for each of these paper bag journals that we're going to be making together. And so we'll be expanding on the design of possibly, maybe I'll add 2 paper bags instead of just 1. We'll see. So like I did over here, and then I covered the second one with the paper. So I'm just going to have to figure out what I think would be fun and interesting for everyone, and then take it from there. So the next video will be a different cover design using the same paper bag to make a little journal. And I'm thinking I will incorporate a miniaturized version for the cover with pockets. I think that'd be really cute. So that'd be the next cover design, is going to be something with pockets. So stay tuned, and I thank you so much for joining me here today on my channel, and keep creating in the sunshine and stay safe, and I will see you in the next crafting video. Bye bye.